The following video is based on play of an in-development build of Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, and the content in the final version is subject to change, so don't pay too much attention to anything in here for numbers and things like that, as it will likely be changed in the final version. When it comes to healers, two of my favourite healers in the game are Sage and White Mage, so let's look at Sage. First of all, there's two brand new abilities. At level 92 you get Psych. This is an instant cast ability that has a 60-second recast that deals unexpected damage to target and all enemies nearby it, with a potency of 600 for the first enemy and 50% less for all remaining enemies, so that's at level 92. And then of course we have Philosophia, which is a brand new ability available at level 100, and this essentially increases healing magic potency by 20%. This lasts for 20 seconds, so this is another buff. Additional effects, then it grants self and nearby party members the effect of eudaimonia, which is a restoring HP after landing spells. So this is basically like an AoE cardia. So essentially you're healing people by doing damage or landing spells, right? It says, so presumably any spell. So once you put this out, not only is your healing potency gone up by 20% for 20 seconds, but you also have 20 seconds of anything you cast basically is going to be restoring HP. So again, we're switching out the idea of just pure shield healing here and actually doing AoE healing to our entire party member for that 20-second period, which is really interesting, as we talked about with White Mage with the changes where we have like a shield now with an AoE regen. Now we have this, which is essentially a AoE heal over time, depending on how much we do damage for or how many spells we cast in that time. It only has a 150 cure potency on here at the moment. Again, none of these numbers necessarily will be the way they are in the future, but that is what it says here. The other main thing is an unassignable. Another thing that got changed is there is Eucrasian Prognosis 2, which essentially does the same exact thing. It's had a slightly higher increase in the percentage of how much HP is restored, and of course its potency has changed, but apart from that it's pretty much just an upgrade. The other thing then to note is that we also have Eucrasian Dicrasia, which is a really interesting ability. So Eucrasian Dicrasia is available at level 82 specifically, and it says it's instant cast, a 1.5 second recast with 400 mana cost at the moment in a 5-yard radius. So that's a key point. You have to be in melee range, and it deals unaspected damage over time to all nearby enemies. This has a potency of 40 and lasts for 30 seconds, as it says here. This might change. It also restores the HP to targets under the effect of Cardian granted by you. So of course you're obviously doing stuff to whoever your Cardian target is. And of course if you were to pop obviously Philosophia, you would also be granting them heals as well to your party whilst also healing your target. So that's pretty awesome. That's got a 170 potency and can only be executed while under the effect of Eucrasia. So essentially you use Eucrasia and then you press Dicrasia, and that's how you get that on. This is actually a dot then, so you can actually combine this with normal Eucrasian Dosis. You apply your Eucrasian Dosis, which is the dot, to a target, but you can also use Eucrasian Dicrasia to put the other dot on them as well and any other enemies that are nearby. This is incredibly cool even on single target as well as multiple targets, because you're double dotting, as well as having the ability to use Psych obviously. And yeah, the DPS increase for your Sage should sort of exponentially expand. So they've focused on the DPS aspect of it, how Sage deals with large packs of mobs, and they've definitely gone to this AoE dot and dot uptime sort of direction for that, which is really interesting. And Philosophia, obviously with the AoE healing, is a really interesting move, but based on your damage again. So I don't know, I kind of liked Sage before, but after playing it with this system, I really love Eucrasian Dicrasia. I use it pretty much all the time. Philosophia is a really nice cooldown. We didn't get a lot of time to play things that would be, higher than level 92, etc. The level 91 dungeon wasn't really a good example of this. but out in the world, it looked like it would be a good thing, but it's going to be really good when we can test that with obviously level 100 content. But Psych was especially nice. It was nice to have that extra, button to do damage with. I really appreciated that. So yeah, and of course 600 potency for the first enemy, splitting 50% less for all of the remaining ones is pretty good. Honestly, Sage has mostly kept the same, much like White Mage, but it has a nice new couple of bits added to its toolkit. I don't think even now that anybody is going to, look towards this and go, it's a game changer. It is fun. It is a great addition, set of abilities. But I think, honestly, the healer that seems to have gotten the most attention this time around is definitely Scholar. So I think a lot of people will be looking towards that in the future. Anyway, let me know what you think about Sage's toolkit and all of these changes. And let me know. More videos on the way from the media tour. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.